Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Moonshiner and 5 tips on how to sell your Moonshiner. Ovi made a video yesterday talking about the buying guide of what you need and what you don't need. That'll also be linked in the description. Go ahead and check that out. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, this month's weekly bonus is on Moonshiner with bonus money and discounts, so this video is going to be geared towards that. So starting off here with our first tip is going to be picking your location of your Moonshine Shack wisely. And the reason being is because all of these options, as you can see that I have pulled up, the terrains are all different. The bridges you have to go over are all different. If you guys didn't know, we will talk about this a little bit more later in the video as well. Moonshine's fragile, and you're going to want to pay attention to that stuff. We made a video ranking the different spots that you want your Moonshine to be in. That'll also be linked in the description. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to get too much into that now, though. As you can see, I have the Heartlands. That's where mine's always been. And with it also being on sale, you might want to move yours if you do not have one of the better locations. Next up is going to be doing Bootlegger Missions. And the reason I have this in here is because they're not hard, and you get the mash, which is required to make the Moonshine for cheaper. So now, if you have a lot of money, sure, maybe you don't need to do it, but at the same time, you want that profit. And when you do these Bootlegger Missions for your Moonshiner, you get more profit because it's less money that you have to put in to selling your Moonshine. So we have this in here. I guess that's more of geared towards a tip if you do not have a lot of money, because, you know, the mash really isn't expensive, or maybe I'm just saying that because I have the money to where I don't need to do this. But either way, you're going to want to do this. It's a good tip overall because you do save money from it, and it's just more profit in your pocket with the game. So keep that in mind when you're selling your Moonshine. Next up, you're going to want to sell in defensive. Reason being here, I can't really show you this because you have to see it when, like, you have to see another player in defensive. But when you're in defensive, a player can't lock onto you. And we know how the Red Dead community is, very toxic. Why wouldn't someone go by you and mess with you during your Moonshine sale? So if you are in defensive, they can't lock onto you. It is a lot harder to get griefed in defensive when you are selling. Next up, you're going to want to drive your wagon slowly. Reason being, similar to the picking your location wisely, the terrains are all different. You got to remember, these are glass bottles full of Moonshine. Glass being the key word. These are fragile. So when you want to drive slow, it's probably better, especially if you're going over a rougher terrain. One tip that I use when I'm driving is I hit the A button 2 to 3 times, and I just let it glide. And then when it starts to slow down, like you're seeing here, I'm going to tap it a couple more times, and it speeds up a little bit. The key thing here is because if you break too many bottles, the price goes down. You don't want that. The next tip is going to be always flavor your Moonshine. The reason being is because when you flavor your Moonshine, it is worth more. Berry cobbler is a good option because 90% of the time it has a buyer, and the ingredients that you need to make it are stuff that you can buy out of your catalog or at a convenience store. So berry cobbler is a way to go if you want to flavor your Moonshine, which you probably should. Bonus tips. These are mainly from Ovi. If you get stopped by the revenue agents, you're going to want to hop off that. As you can see here, I'm on my wagon right now. I got stopped by the revenue agents, but if I'm on it and these guys start shooting at me, I don't want my wagon getting shot up with fragile glass bottles. So next up, the next tip is going to be, you don't want to drink your Moonshine before you sell it. As you can see here, Ovi just drank it, and now he's getting ready to go sell. You don't want to do that because, you know, it's just like everything in real life. If you drink and drive, it won't go well. So if you do want to drink some of your Moonshine before you sell it, you're going to want to stop at the wash barrel, and you wash your face at least 3 times. 1 time does not do the trick. And obviously, what it'll do is it'll make the steering a lot easier, which is obviously important. You can't be having sharp turns with your glass bottles or your Moonshine. So that's a good tip because you do get the gold ring around your heart kind of important, and even when you wash your face, it does stay there. So those are our tips to selling Moonshine. Me and Ovi have did collectively a lot of sales together in Red Dead for Moonshine, so we do know some things when it comes to this, and these are very good tips. If you follow this, one, you'll make more money, and two, you will be more successful in delivering them. Obviously, there might be some tips we missed, but go and comment those down below. We like to see that stuff. If you enjoy, please remember to like and sub for more Madden, GTA, and Red Dead content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.